All right, let's jump right into this explainer. I want you to start by picturing a scenario. Just imagine two people, okay? They're both exactly 30 years old. They both wake up every single morning at 7 a.m., and they both put in a solid 8 hours of work a day. On top of that, they're both highly intelligent and incredibly ambitious. So on paper, they look exactly the same. Yet as the years go by, their financial trajectories just completely split. One of them starts earning thousands of dollars while fast asleep. The other? Well, they stop earning the absolute second they walk out the door at 5 p.m. Welcome to our deep dive into the mechanics of asset multiplication, where we're going to unpack exactly why that happens.
So you really have to ask yourself, why? Why do these two identical profiles result in such wildly different outcomes? Is it just pure luck? Maybe some special innate talent? Or, is it just about having the right connections? Well, what we're exploring today is the reality that there is actually a hidden financial system, a beautifully elegant set of mechanics that you can absolutely optimize. Today, we're uncovering the real reason why the rich so often get richer, and why their wealth seems to grow exponentially faster every single year without them necessarily working a single hour harder.
Let's meet our two guys, Noah and Liam. Like we said, they both earn the exact same annual salary, they get similar raises, and they both share the ultimate dream of becoming financially free. But their core mentalities around money, totally opposed. Noah fundamentally believes his paycheck is his greatest asset. Liam, on the other hand, believes his asset should eventually replace his paycheck. At first glance, their day-to-day lives look almost identical, but beneath the surface, based entirely on this one vital mindset shift, their financial futures are already pulling apart in complete opposite directions.
Okay, Section 1. 2 ways to earn money and what we'll call the bakery model.
Think about it like this. Imagine you own a bakery. You really only have 2 options to run the place. Option 1, you bake every single loaf yourself. You're directly trading your time for money. But here's the obvious catch. If you get sick, take a vacation, or, just want to sleep in on a Tuesday, the bakery stops making money completely. Then there's option 2. You hire skilled bakers. Now, that bakery keeps churning out bread and generating cash even while you're thousands of miles away relaxing on a beach. Wealth mechanics work exactly the same way. You can either sell your limited time, or you can own assets that produce income independently. And the wealthy, they almost exclusively optimize for option 2.
So in the real world, here's how this plays out. Noah works incredibly hard, scores a higher salary, but boom, he immediately falls victim to lifestyle creep. That bigger paycheck just brings a larger apartment, a luxury car, and, expensive vacations. Every raise he gets simply vanishes into higher operating expenses. He feels richer, for sure, but his net asset growth is firmly stuck at absolute zero. Now look at Liam. He keeps his lifestyle steady. He skips the luxury car and instead buys index funds. When those investments pay out, he doesn't go spend the cash. He automatically reinvests the dividends. His money is quietly pulling shifts while he isn't, leading directly to massive wealth acceleration.
Moving on to Section 2, the snowball effect and how we go about accelerating wealth.
You know that classic image of standing at the top of a snowy hill and rolling a tiny snowball? At first, it barely grows. That's your first $10,000. It takes a ton of effort and grows painfully slowly. But every single rotation grabs more snow. Soon, that snowball is enormous, and the bigger it gets, the faster it grows. Your first 100,000 grows faster, and getting to that first million grows so fast it practically turns into a financial avalanche. Look, the rules of finance didn't magically change for Liam. It's simply that every percentage game is now applied to an exponentially larger base amount. That's exactly why wealth so often appears to accelerate right out of thin air.
And this crucial point really comes down to a single number, $50,000. Think about this. Suppose both Noah and Liam earn a surprise $10,000 bonus at work. Noah spends it. The money's gone. Liam invests it. Fast forward a few years, and let's imagine Liam has diligently built his portfolio up to $500,000. A totally standard 10% market return on that portfolio adds $50,000 to his net worth in a single year. To put that into perspective, he literally generated a full-time income for a lot of people without working a single extra hour. As wealth grows, each percentage increase becomes an absolute force of nature in dollar terms.
All right, Section 3, the apartment building and the incredible power of multiplying assets.
Let's walk through a new example. Meet Emma. Step 1, Emma buys just one apartment. It brings in rent every single month. Step 2, she continues to live entirely off her day job and religiously saves that rental income. Step 3, eventually those savings build up enough to allow her to buy a second apartment. Now she's pulling in rent from 2 properties. Step 4, fast forward a bit, she buys a third, then a fourth. The existing properties are literally financing the subsequent purchases. Compare that to a traditional employee whose income only goes up when they sacrifice more hours or beg their boss for a raise. Emma's assets are multiplying organically. Human working hours simply cannot multiply, but assets absolutely do.
Which brings us to Section 4, building your invisible team.
Picture running a company. Early on, you have exactly one employee, yourself. But to scale up, you hire 5 people, then 20, then maybe 100. The business expands because more people are creating value, while investments work the exact same way. But instead of people, your team is made entirely of assets, stocks, rental properties, businesses, dividend-paying investments. Every single one of these is a tireless worker contributing to your financial future 24/7. And honestly, the best part? Unlike human employees, index funds don't need sleep, they don't take sick days, and they definitely don't ask for HR interventions. Wealthy individuals don't just work alone, they build a massive, invisible workforce.
And this brings us to perhaps the biggest misunderstanding about wealth. So many people think becoming wealthy is all about skipping your daily coffee or budgeting obsessively. And hey, while spending less certainly helps, the true secret is ownership. It's the critical shift from merely earning an income to actually holding assets, like businesses, real estate, and investments that compound and produce ongoing value. When businesses grow, owners benefit. When real estate appreciates, owners benefit. The key isn't simply commanding a massive salary, it's ownership. Making that psychological transition from an earner to an owner, it entirely changes the mechanics of your financial life.
Now, you might be thinking you need millions of dollars to start applying this. No way. Every massive investment portfolio out there began in the exact same place. One paycheck, one investment, one single share, one good habit. The wealthy don't just wake up one morning with a mountain of money seamlessly working for them. They spend years, starting incredibly small, intentionally building assets that eventually take over part of the heavy lifting. This is a highly accessible system, guys. It relies almost entirely on consistency, not perfection.
As the saying goes, every forest began with a single seed. Wealth is simply a self-feeding cycle. Once it reaches a certain critical mass, it just begins creating more of itself. Investments generate income, assets appreciate in value, profits buy more assets, and those new assets generate even more profits. It's a highly rational mechanical cycle. The goal here isn't to look at someone else's giant financial avalanche and feel envious. No, the goal is to pack together your own handful of snow and immediately start rolling it down that hill. So the question you should be asking yourself right now isn't, why are rich people getting richer? Instead, ask yourself this: what asset can I begin building today? Because the sooner you take ownership of an asset, no matter how seemingly insignificant it is at first, the sooner your money starts working right beside you instead of you desperately waiting around for your next paycheck to arrive. It's not just about how much you earn. It is entirely about what your money does after you earn it. Take that thought with you today, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.